Hey everybody, I got all dressed up today because today we're going to talk about the very exciting world of annuities. I'm going to talk about what annuities are. I'm going to talk about some of the pros and cons of having an annuity, some different benefits and features of a few different types of annuities, when some people might consider using them, and some actual rates from today to show some examples of how they might look in the real world. So what the heck is an annuity? It's a very, very simple product. The only reason you might assume that it isn't is because the financial industry likes to do this with everything. They like to overcomplicate things so that they can sell more of them or add extra features and charge extra fees for whatever reason. But all an annuity is basically you as a human being are purchasing your very own pension plan. That's all it is. And so you say, okay, I'm going to put X amount of dollars, I'm going to give it to you, and you are going to give me X amount of dollars every year for the rest of my life, no matter how long I live. Now where your risk comes in, obviously, is if you put this money in, you give them the money, and the next day you pass away, well, now you have lost that investment. Where you win, obviously, is if you live longer than they expect you to, and you outlive sort of that rate, then you get really good advantage from the annuity. How the rates are generally calculated is based on the interest rates of today. So that's why annuities aren't very good today, I guess, is because interest rates are extremely low. So, for example, you may have, recently retired or seen your pension, and it will show you, okay, you're going to get paid X amount per month for the rest of your life, or here's the commuted value, and the commuted value is absolutely massive. It's just like a huge number, and you're like, holy, my pension's worth a lot of money. And so it works in the opposite direction with an annuity. If you had to go and purchase that pension right now, it's going to cost you an absolute fortune. So it sort of makes sense how that works. Personally, for me, I have actually never once in my entire career sold an annuity for a few reasons. One, generally the interest rates have been really bad, so it didn't make a whole lot of sense. Two, now I don't even work with an insurance company that offers annuities anymore because they probably weren't making money off of them, so they decided to stop selling them. And three, because at the time, most of my clients weren't really at an age where an annuity would even make any sense. But now that I'm starting to think about it, I might actually go out and start looking at finding some places that maybe I can start offering them, because I'll start talking about some reasons why I think they might fit into certain financial plans. And so it's a good thing to maybe have under my belt. Another reason why you probably haven't even heard an annuity offered to you is because they are an insurance product, and they are not actually like an investment product, so they need to be sold to you by an insurance agent. So if you're dealing with the bank, for example, you go in and talk to your advisor, they generally are only a mutual fund advisor and not a dual licensed advisor that can sell mutual funds and life insurance. So they don't even have the ability to offer you annuities. That's why they might not even bring them up. Just something to consider. The main company that I know of right now that offers annuities is Sun Life, and they're going to be the example that I'm going to use. So that's all an annuity is an insurance product. And basically what happens with every insurance company, they have a guy, a weird dude or woman that loves math, that sits in a room, I always imagine, sits in a room and crunches numbers and looks at tables and decides how long people are going to live. And then they tell the insurance company, they say, look, we can assume that people are going to live this long, so we're going to offer them this much money if they give us this in return. And the insurance company takes a bet on this mathematician actuary's numbers and then starts selling these products. And if the actuary is wrong, I guess nobody ever hears from them again. So they really don't want to get this wrong. Now, as I said, there are a whole bunch of actual different annuities that you can potentially buy, and I'm really only going to focus on one, which is like a straight life annuity. It's just, going to pay out a set amount every year for the rest of the person who buys its life. But you can buy ones that are joint with your spouse, or you can buy some that are indexed with inflation or go up a specific percentage every year. Another one thing or feature that you can purchase is, say, maybe a 10-year guarantee. So it says, okay, well, I bought this annuity for $100,000 and I get hit by a bus tomorrow. Well, that guarantee is going to mean that your estate or spouse is going to get paid out for at least 10 years, so it's not like completely gone down the drain. And where annuities sort of come into play in my mind is not, let's take all of your money and put it into an annuity and then just that is your income. But it can be maybe a good portion of saying, what are your fixed expenses going to be in retirement? What is CPP and OAS going to pay you? How much is it actually going to cost you to live? And maybe you can create that with an annuity to give yourself some peace of mind, and then you can invest the rest and try and do things with it. One thing that you don't want to do as far as buying an annuity is if you have a really strong feeling or goal of wanting to leave money to your estate, because it's all going to be gone as soon as you pass away. An annuity does not allow you to leave an estate to your heirs, your children. But as I said, I don't think it's a very good idea to just purchase, an annuity with everything. You can also buy annuities inside of your RSP or your RIF, which obviously it's going to be taxable as it comes out, as all the money coming out of your RSP is. Or you can buy it with non-registered, after-tax cash. And that's actually not a bad strategy for sort of deferring tax in some cases, because you can have some annuities that might actually pay you the principal up front and then start paying you the gains later in life. Maybe you have lower income, can decrease your tax that way. So there's some sort of fun strategies. I said fun. There's some strategies, I guess, that you can use. If you think that you really don't have a good estimated longevity, and I know this is a weird question, but it's one that you actually have to ask yourself. If you really don't think you're going to live for a very long time, an annuity is absolutely not for you. It is for people that are expected to live quite a long time, especially in today's low interest rate environment. So if you think you're going to pass away in your early 80s because you smoked and drank and just ate McDonald's every day or whatever, then maybe an annuity isn't for you. But if you run marathons and are the healthiest person alive, then maybe you could consider one. Another thing, that to consider is there's also people in your general portfolio when you retire is going to be probably more fixed income compared to equities. So you might have, say, 60% of your money in fixed income and 40% in equities. So your fixed income's mostly in bonds, which aren't paying anything right now anyway, and your equities are fluctuating up and down. Well, maybe instead of buying all the money in the bonds and the fixed income that's not paying much anyways, you can just set your fixed income with an annuity and then take more of a risk with your equities and feel actually more comfortable with your investment fluctuations over time. if you've watched my videos, I am a little bit worried about the stock market right now. So if you knew that you had this set income for life, it really wouldn't worry you so much about those big fluctuations. So that is something to consider. Might actually help you make better returns over the long term because you can stay patient. You need to consider that an annuity is only going to pay a fixed income. So if that's your only source of income, then you're not going to be able to cover any like emergencies or anything. So that's a tough one. That's something to consider. And I was thinking about something and I kind of laughed because I hear it sometimes, but every once in a while I talk to people that are like, I don't want to leave my kids a goddamn thing. I do not want to leave them. I want to spend all of my money and I want to die with zero. Well, in that case, probably the best bet is to buy an annuity because you know that you will never run out of money, and at the very end of the day, your kids aren't going to get anything. So if that's your goal, maybe you do just want to buy an annuity and say, this is my set fixed income for life. I'm sure I didn't cover it all. There's more to annuities, but hopefully that kind of gives you an idea. Actually, I do want to talk about one more thing, and it is an important conversation that I have with clients, and this is where an annuity might make sense, is peace of mind. So I have conversations with clients a lot, and I read things on the internet a lot about strategy and how to make the most money and all of these other ideas. But at the end of the day, sometimes there's so much to be said about the idea of what is going to make you feel more comfortable. How are you going to sleep the best at night? And if that means that maybe you don't have as much money at the end of the day, but you can really feel comfortable in your retirement, then maybe annuity is a good piece of that puzzle, because it should give you the ability to know that you're comfortable no matter what happens, that you are going to have this set amount of income for the rest of your life. And so I think that peace of mind is actually worth quite a bit. You know, I don't want this to be a sales pitch. As I said, annuities definitely are not for everyone. I don't think that they should be your entire retirement puzzle, but in some cases I do think that they should or could make a pretty good piece of that actual puzzle. So now let's talk about some examples, and you get an idea of sort of the longevity that you would need to expect in your life for an annuity to make sense. And we're going to find out that those weird mathematicians sitting in that room know that women are a whole heck of a lot healthier than men. That's why women get lower rates when they purchase the exact same annuity. I'm using an example from today that I filmed this, which is February 24th, 2021, because annuity rates will change. Right off of a web page, the Sun Life Annuity Calculator. You can go on there and do it yourself, and then you can say, look, you know, I saw this guy on the internet, his name was Kent, and he told me to come here. Now I'm going to go to you and I'm going to get you to sell it to me so you can make the commission because Kent taught me about it, which is nice. So the example I'm going to use today is just $100,000. You're buying an annuity at 65, 70, and 75 in your RSP. This is before tax income. This is how much it's going to pay every single year. And then I'm going to talk about the break-even point of how long you have to live if you were making 3% on that in a different investment. And the reason I'm using 3 is because, like I said, I think it's a good replacement for the fixed income portion of your portfolio and not actually the equity portion or even the balanced portion of your portfolio, so I'm going to go on the low side. Obviously, if the rates of return are higher, then it's going to take longer for you to get to that break-even point. So, A man is 65 years old, he buys a $100,000 annuity at Sun Life, he's going to get paid $5,962 a year for the rest of his life, no matter how long he lives. At 70, $6,853, same thing, and 75, $7,734. The break-even point for 65 is anytime after 88 years old, 70 anytime after 89 years old, and 75 anytime after 91 years old. For a woman, 65, she buys it $5,402 per year for the rest of her life. Break-even point is 92 years old. 70 years old, $6,220 per year, so just over $500 a month. Break-even point still 92 years old, and 75, $7,104 per year. Break-even point is after 93 years old. So, I mean, in the end, I'm starting to maybe come around a little bit on annuities in certain situations, and this is just sort of from my own sort of thought process and starting to deal with more people that are entering retirement and thinking about, you know, what might make them more comfortable. So anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. I definitely wouldn't consider myself an annuity expert, as I've never sold one in my entire life. But I definitely have some tools and some answers and can find out more if you have any questions. As always, thank you guys very much for watching. Stay safe, and please comment and subscribe. See you soon.